Number one for the Giggity Cup Series. We're getting ready to go with the duel number two. I'm your CEO, Aquatati. In the booth with me, we have not a first timer, but he's not up here too often. We have Long Live the Sauce up here, who just finished inside the top three podium finish and qualified for the big race, as well as I finished fourth, right? So after duel number one, what can you say that you're excited probably the most about in entering this next race there, Sauce?
Thanks for having me, Teddy. I want to see how it plays out. I want to see if these guys get a little bit more lucky. It was kind of just a low line freight train in our race and just kept getting separated. So maybe we'll see some takers on the high side here. Maybe we'll get see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think so. Right, so it's a tough one.
Wishful thinking.
It's a tough one because only 12 drivers advance, right? And there's only 16 in the race. So if you're inside the top 12, it's not really worthwhile to be side by side, you know. And this is why this is the premier series here at GC Sports. You know what it takes to advance, and if you're one of the guys 13th on back, yeah, you might make a move, might get side by side, but in all reality, it's going to be a little bit further out. Do you know what I mean? Like you're probably not going to make it up to fifth, sixth place, right? Because you're only going to have 3-4 guys trying to make a move. You're really just hoping one of the guys maybe came off the bumpers a little bit, and because of that, you're going to try to pass one car, get in line, and hold your spot now in 12th. You guys are seeing the starting lineup, what position these guys are at. You move them up one as my name is at the top because I'm the lobby host, but I will not be in the lobby. So Travis, Tyson, and Tiller will be leading us to green. This is also the names, new cars, new rides, 12 teams here at GC Sports, and all these guys looking to make their team owners proud here as we start the season. 5 seconds remain on the clock. I'm going to back out of the lobby. 3, 2, 1. I'm blue screen, Sauce. We should be able to accept our invites. We got Billy Holcomb, Maverick, do. The echo that you're hearing, Maverick, that's just because I'm broadcasting, apparently. I don't know why that happens every time. Let me try to switch headsets real quick.
And like I said, Teddy, it's really going to be a fight to get to the low line here. If you're on the top side, once you get in 12th, or higher, you're gonna wanna stay there for the majority of the race as long as you can. So expect to see a lot of people fighting to get down there here at the start.
Yeah, I mean it's all about. This race is all about getting in the top 12. Unfortunately, there are going to be 4 people going home. And just so the viewers at home know, Billy, I can't say it on air, so you're cheating. But just so the viewers at home know, the way that we're sitting on the one provisional, right, 12 and 12 is 24, but we start 25. The one provisional, as it sits right now, is Ward Burton. He is the only A-Series driver in from duel number one. So, but with that said, he points for the A-Series last season. So if for any reason another A-Series driver from last season does not qualify in, they would get the provisional. So if you're Ward Burton, you're hoping that all A-Series drivers from last season do great. And we're underway. Travis Tyson, of all people, leading the way in that number 43 Petty Motorsports Chevrolet for Puddin' Knievel and Knievel Motorsports.
This is
it's a little shaky up there already.
They're going to try to get their wits about them here real quick. We already see a lot of jockeying position. See how it goes. You know, you got to watch some people. I think there might have been a couple lags in our race.
Riding on.
Something you got to watch out for. That's a factor in this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I'm going to scroll through the field throughout this race, right? We're going to try to keep track of who's in 12th. But I also want you guys to get recognized and comfortable with who's driving what car this season. Also, if the same driver races on Tuesdays in the Cringe Series, they'll be in the same car here tonight as it works side by side. GTR Jose Protege in the 6. He tends to have a little bit of lag spike, and I'm starting to see a little bit of glitching out of him now. Do. Yeah, sure. I'll send you an invite.
We have 3 Chevys here in the top. And if I'm Travis, I'm just gonna ride that yellow line as long as I can. And if you're in the top 10 at this point, you're gonna sit back for a little bit here and just ride around.
So I gotta say something interesting, right? So this it seems so silly, right? If you're the 24 car, you don't want to give up in line, but maybe you're friends with the guy in the 7, the 21 behind you, right? You could make a move and put Travis Tyson back further. Now, what's the point of that? People ask. There's no risk. There's no reason to make moves whatsoever, right? However, this is the outside starting line. Finishing order will decide how you start. So whoever wins this race will start second. In the 24, teammates of the 48 of Showtime who just won the last race, right? You could have a Showtime Motorsports front row if gets up there and passes 43 and becomes your race winner. 7 is Flash 9.
Being on Showtime, I didn't want to play any favorites, but you probably know who I'm pulling for here.
Yeah, I mean, seems you're in one of the Hendrick Chevrolets, also driver of the number 9 of Showtime Motorsports. I'm sure you're not too much against that, and I think you finished second too, right? Didn't you?
Yep. So if we could get Dunha on the outside row, it'll be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, which I think that's all of your custom drivers too, right? So that'd be a pretty good matchup there. We have Cowballs McTitty, aka probably your dad out there. Thanks for tuning in. Is Sauce's Echo any better at all? I did switch headsets. Gonna keep scrolling through. Racehead here in the 34. He is making moves on the outside. He has a little bit of help from the 32 machine. I believe those cars to be teammates. Let me see. Takes me a second here to remember. The 32 is not teammates with that. That is... we'll scroll through and find out who it is, but right now I don't know. Mike RPM, of course, in the Slade Gravit 21 spin machine. That's interesting seeing him out there in the Slade Pro League car, as we just seen he gone in the 44 Pro League car, which is Mike Brass's car. Pico Gator, he was your race winner on Tuesday in the Cringe Slider Series, so he's looking to repeat and try to start on the front row yet again, both nights next week. But he's got some work to do sitting back here. Ooh, the 6 of Jose Protege gets bumped out of line. 14 making a move. Old Johnny Boy, that's the 47 Kroger Chevrolet. Looks like all 12 of these drivers still in the pack right now. So the 66, 47, 32, and 37 right now. These are the guys on the outside in. 37, I believe, to be Denkate back there. And right now the 34 has been moved up out the way. That being Racehead. 37 is Denkate. 51,
they're racing
that's
real
32.
hard back there to get to that felt spot and just keep it there.
Yeah, so tell me if you agree or disagree. Guardian there in the 00, but it's too soon, right? So this is a 40 lap race. You only get 23 to the tank, so no matter what, you have to make pit stops, right? So if it's me personally, I'm not jockeying for position now. I'm just going to ride in line, try to stay in the draft, stay with the pack. As long as you're still in contention with 12th place when you come to pit stop, and you have help when you go down pit road, there's a really, really good chance of you making the show, right? So it's all about that pit stop. Don't speed. Somebody's probably going to speed. There is cautions on. There is damage on. Somebody has their brake bias just wrong. They spin on pit road. Damage. They're out of commission. You know, that's really all you got to go for here. Maverick in the 14. Memphis Phoenix, that's who's in the 32 machine. Palm Coaster in the 66. And we're back to our race leader of Travis Tyson. There you go, Billy. Just told you. 32 car. That's Memphis Phoenix.
Yeah, he's even got T-Bird's team.
Yeah, he is on T-Bird's team. I forgot which team he was, right, so the 32 car was originally drafted to the BD team, the GTR team. And then they traded that for Jacob, who did not even race. So they gave up a car for Jacob and a draft pick. Denkate lost control there in the tri-oval, and he's going to lose the draft as he goes flying up, catches wall. So 37 car. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is on low draft. So the 37, yes, if this was normal draft, you're looking at a guy that's going to have one hell of a lap next lap. But unfortunately, yeah, with this being low draft, that 37 car is not in the draft right now. But he may catch it. Yeah, 66 Palm Coaster, 47 Old Johnny Boy, 32 of Memphis Phoenix. They all get up into the wall. 4 cars now have lost the pack. These 4... Remember, 4 cars get eliminated from this race right now, right? So
the first car of that pack is 12th.
Yeah, they need to... Wait, what?
The 47 is he 12th.
There's 16 cars, so that should be 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th that we're watching.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know. How many cars are in the... There were 16 in the lobby, but I was in the lobby, so you might be right. That might be 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. There might only be 15 cars on track. Are you watching Travis's stream by any chance?
No, I just went through and counted on my screen. Yeah. So the 37 back there is, or the 47 is the 12th spot. So
So this big
It's
pack
gonna be
racing,
a battle. It's gonna be a big battle back there with those 4 cars.
yeah, if I'm one of these 11 cars up front, I'm not making any moves whatsoever now. You have 12th places already out. Nothing matters at all anymore. You stay together. There's no way 4 cars will catch 12 unless that 47 has one hellacious set of gears in there for those 4 to catch them. But yeah, otherwise this 12 will catch, or these 11 should be able to pull away, which that's going to be huge for Ward Burton. If Ward Burton's out there tuning in, none of those drivers in the back 4 were an A Series driver from last season, right? So that would mean if one of those 3 back there is the ones that get eliminated, then Ward Burton would have the provisional spot.
I mean, that's a lot going on right now.
Gotta love the duels,
back
right?
4, they might not even, something happens in front of them, they could end up 7, 8, something like that. So there's no need to panic yet. So you wanna get back up there.
So essentially, right, like you have to look at anybody that watches the real. They do their duels. You have your race your way in drivers that they have to beat the other cars that are in their duel, right, to make their way in. Well, we know that right now, unless you're an A Series driver, Ward Burton has that provisional spot because he didn't qualify in from the first one. So all 4 of these drivers have to race their way in. You cannot accept the provisional. Yeah, that's remarkable. But I think a lot of that had to do with the 34 wasn't quite lined up. 47 makes a move. Passes a couple of them. 34 race said he is an A Series driver. He could fall back on a provisional if need be. He's now at the tail end of the field. Not what Ward Burton wanted to see.
I like to see the move there. Why not? You got a huge run. Let's see what happens. Maybe somebody hits the apron.
Here's the thing for the 47. Right, like you said, he was in 12th. If he didn't make that move, then the 3 cars behind him would have made that move, and he would have been gone from the 12th spot back to 13th, 14th, 15th spot, right? So he really needed to make it. Unfortunately, he just got back up off the bottom and is going to go to the back end of the pack anyway. So really didn't like that. He did get past that 34 car. Really should have just stayed in line there. Didn't happen. Unfortunate there. The 14 machine of... Man, sorry guys, still trying to learn all the names, but 14 Maverick, he keeps drifting up off the bottom, and I'm not going to lie, that is Piccola's teammate. That's probably the only reason Piccola has not closed that hole and taken that spot. Dean Cook out there, aka Warpig, is calling out that there's 31 laps left. That was a few laps ago, so we're probably at about 29 to go, 28 to go in that ballpark, so we have about 7-8 laps. Halfway's 20 laps, get 23 to the tank, right? I'm assuming to start seeing pit stops right around 22 to go, 21 to go in that ballpark.
Yeah, I'm just looking up front here, and it's real casual up here. Travis, Plus we have in the 7.
Flash 9 in the 7, yeah, and then Mike RPM in 4th.
They're really just it's a good time up there. They're out, they're sitting back, the sun's shining.
Yeah, listen, they know what they're doing, right? I mean, you're talking.
It's not a problem.
I mean. Flash 9, Mike RPM, you're talking Pro League caliber plus an actual Pro League driver right there, right? All sitting there, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, we have a guy on the apron right here, the 32 coming back up the track.
That's the 34 of Raced. That's an A Series driver. He's one of those ones that could fall back on the provisional. That is not what Ward Burton wants to see. Was that 32 or is that 34 that just did that? I think it was the 34.
Both, honestly.
The 32 is now up and into the 47. 47 into the wall after that. 34 is the one that doesn't have any draft back there, though.
What's going on, guys?
I mean, I know what it is. They're trying to make moves, right? But unfortunately, they're the moves that they're making right there, right? The 37, he drifts up. He's trying to make a move. Everybody's trying to get in.
There might be something wrong with maybe somebody put in a little too much camber. Maybe it's burning.
This is what I think happening. I think that the end of the straightaway is when these guys are making the move, right on the entrance of the corner. The problem is you're carrying so much more speed because of the draft. That's the worst time to make the move. You really want to make it on the exit of a corner, and then your car kind of gets used to it, right? But 66 catches the apron, side bumps, 32 palm coaster under the apron. It hits Memphis Phoenix. There's Denkate. There's old Johnny Boy. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm the 34, I'm hoping these 4 cars bring out a caution. Now these 4 did already work their way back up to the lead pack earlier.
Or the 66 is 11th now. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If I'm the 34, I'm hoping these guys keep banging because they have the draft right, but the 34 does not. It's either you either need these guys to bring out a caution or keep racing like they are and get back there. And I don't blame them for racing themselves out. There's only 4 cars in that pack. That's 11th and 12th. 2 out of those 4 cars are in a qualifying spot right now. War out there. Thanks for tuning in, bud.
I don't know if the cars are falling off or what.
I know this lead pack.
It's a little shaky.
Yeah, this lead pack, Travis Tyson keeps drifting up off the bottom too, and I'm really surprised that 24 Doha has not closed that gap. And I'll be honest, if Travis Tyson does give up the bottom and this whole inside line goes by him, he's going to be in trouble because with it on low draft, you're really at the mercy of they're going so much faster than you are as a single car on the outside. You're most likely going to lose the draft. You're not going to be able to fall in like normal draft or high draft. It's really hard to just fall in line and be able to catch you. But so 43 car, if you're listening, you really need to hold that bottom line a lot better throughout these corners, especially on the exit.
Well, I expect someone to make a move here soon before pit stop. So maybe somebody gets on the inside there.
Yeah, not really sure.
Back a little bit here.
This lead pack, I don't know if it's because of 43's gear ratio or what's going on, but they just don't seem to have a whole lot of speed. That backpack of 4 yet again seems like, and they're snaking much worse than this lead pack, right? There's only 4 of them, and they're snaking really bad, but they're catching this lead pack yet again.
That's very interesting because we saw in our duel, Taddy, once it got separated, it was a wrap for a lot of groups of cars. So.
Flash 9 goes to the outside now in the 7. He's got help from Mike RPM. Only 2 cars going up there. Only 2 of them, but it looks like it's going to pan out. Flash 9 is right now your race leader. He did get ahead of the 43, but I don't think they have enough cars for this to work.
No takers.
14 of Maverick looks like he drifted up off the bottom. He thought better of it and went back down to the bottom. Yeah, those 2 cars now looking at being in danger of the ones that lose the... they're holding their own up there, right? Guardian goes up there in the 00. He's trying to help. 51 comes up off the bottom and catches the 7.
If that was a smart move or not.
I think
can't blame him though for making it, trying to make it work though. Maybe they get a top line going here.
Well, and I think what's important to remember is the pit stops are right around the corner, right?
True.
So even if you were to lose the draft right now, right? Even if you lose the draft right now, you could always go down pit road. Now, I will say the 47 has lost the draft. Those other 3 cars, the 32, 37, and 66, were there with the 47. 47 seemed to have lost the draft once they snuck up. So we're seeing 13 cars in this lead pack, only 12 advanced. The 47 and the 34 desperately hoping for a caution at this point.
And with this low draft, you're going to want to get the top line going. It's going to take a couple hours. Yeah. That's something you're going to have to work on.
Yeah, I like it, though. We're seeing a lot more action out of this race than what I feel like happened in the last race. Yeah, War, this is on low draft. 100% this is on low draft. Oh, do we like the low draft? When it comes...
Got a battle for the lead here. Dunham put his nose there, Travis D. He got loose, slid up.
I like it. I like the move by Doha.
It's going to get a little dicey, a little split up here with pit stop.
3 wide action. 43 drops down hard in front of the 4 of Picola. Picola may not be too happy with that move. To answer your question, War out there on YouTube, the low draft, do I like the low draft? Yeah, I really do. At a track like this, you know, if you're 4 and 4 on the inside and outside, right? If you have the same amount of cars, it's 14 caught the apron. He goes flying up. That's going to back up the whole second group there. Travis Tyson leading it. Flash 9 down on the bottom with Pete Cola behind him. Pete Cola in a tough spot that's his teammate, the 14 of Maverick. He had to let him go there, and 14 is going to fall to the rear now. But
and those lead cars are going to peel away here if they don't get going soon.
But War, right? So we have a slider side of the league. We have a custom setup side of the league, right? Custom setup should be really strongly based about the setups. So the low draft makes that more about the setups. Can you still just ride around in the draft to somebody else? Yes, you really can. But at the same time, you have to hit your marks. One mistake, if the car in front of you is just straight up faster, you're not going to be able to catch their draft. And once the tires wear, you can really start tailing. A track like Daytona, it doesn't affect it a whole lot, right? But at the same time, if you have a slower gear and you're at the tail end of this pack, you're still in danger of losing the leaders simply because of that fact. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the low draft for custom setups.
Me personally, I'll race on low draft. I don't mind it, but if I had to choose, I'd probably take normal.
Well, I think right. So what I like
But
the other end of
it's different. It's
the other end of low draft.
It's a nuance.
The other end of low draft is it makes people actually go and work on their setups, as well as it spreads the field out quicker to where you can have larger car counts and stay green. We're seeing 10, 11 cars up here in this lead pack.
Maybe 2 to 3, 4 laps until pits.
Yeah, well, 100%. That's my perspective into it. I like the low draft. To each their own. I've been elsewhere where they have high draft with custom setups, but somebody builds a loose car and everybody has a really tight knit to each other.
High draft.
Yeah, if you can't separate from each other, right? Like, there's no room for mistake. But just like in real life, the fast cars make their way to the front, the slower cars work their way back. The field gets spread out all around the track, and you can have some really, really good racing. And when you get loose, you have time to recover because you're not always around 10, 12 cars. So that's my perspective. And floating around cars, 34 of Racehead is right now. That is Ward Burton's worst enemy, seeing that this 34 car lost the draft like that.
And we see Showtime in the lead once again.
Oh, Showtime Motorsports with Duh Jr.
Yes. When I say Showtime, I mean Showtime.
What do you got a lap count out there?
So we're probably gonna get we got 16 to go.
And nobody's pit yet. Interesting.
So it's gonna be soon.
Yeah, that means they've
probably
gone.
See some takers right here.
Yeah, 43. He's pulling off. We have seen the 47 has already gone to pit road. I'm interested.
Everyone has good gas, but obviously Travis Steve in the lead for so long.
6 car caught the apron, goes flying up in front of the 21 of Mike RPM. Mike RPM can't be happy with that. Looked like the 61 had a little bit of glitching. 43 showed. Yeah, he showed that he was going to pit, but never did.
This might be interesting. This really might. I mean, they got 15 to go. That's a lot of laps.
They've gone 25. You get 23 to the tank. Depending on your gears, you can save that pretty easy. Saving the whole 17 laps, I don't think that's possible.
No takers yet.
15 to go. Yep. Thank you, Warpig. They're coming to 14. Oh, wow. 51 up and in the 51. Wall.
Yes. Oh, people running out of gas. People running out of gas.
Oh, that's crazy. If I'm the 51, I would pit right there.
There's a 43.
And he does. But he wrecks again, trying to get to pit road. He's going the wrong way.
Oh my gosh.
00 of Guardian has 0 draft help.
That was interesting, to say the least.
Travis Tyson, Picola, large group there pitting. This group staying on the track with 14 laps remaining, but they got to be coming here soon.
How do you like to do it, Tad? You like to be the first group, second group? What do you think is the best
play? Me personally, I did it on Tuesday and I did it again tonight. Right at coming to 12. 14 in the wall off Mike RPM. The 19 of Taylor caught the apron, got into Mike RPM, and that sent 14 up into the wall. But to answer your question, I did it on Tuesday, did it again tonight. Right at the halfway mark for 20 laps.
21 to 7, the 19. 14.
All the leaders, right? They all come to pit road. Guardian, who had lost the the 00 is spinning.
Wow, that's not good. Yeah, but Memphis stayed out by himself.
No, Memphis was he was in the group with the 37, the 66, and the 47, right? And that's why you're seeing the 32 come back around and he's catching right back up to those. Well, in which case I may be wrong yet again. Should bring our leader. I'm on pit road. Now the driver I'm interested on is this 34. I was hoping he maybe had a draft part. Yeah, that was. I mean, as far as the pit sequence, some probably took tires. Because I like pitting at the halfway mark. If your tires are above 50, you can make it another halfway, right? Because your tires are above 50%, right? If they're below 50, take tires. It really lets you dictate it a little bit better to me than a scenario like this, but. At the same time, you should have done and tested and seen how far you can go and how far your tires will go.
So it looks like 24 is going to come gets the lead here with the 21 pushing him. I think we might get a lot of cars hooked up here if they get in line.
That's Daha and Mike RPM up front. Now those two cars will have a lot of speed up front if those are your leaders. But I'll tell you who is going to win out of that whole scenario is the 32 car. He was way back there with Denke and all them, and now he's the leader of pack number 2. Which, that's where all the racing's happening. They're 3 wide right here as they're going around the 32 car.
Yeah, they just
Still
need to
racing.
get in line as fast as they can.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 cars up front, right? Like, get in line and you can catch them quick, right? That's
we're looking at 3 packs.
This is position 3 through 7. So that next pack with Denkate in there would be 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. The 4 is in 9th, 43 10th. The 37 at Denkate is in 11th. And so whoever's behind them looks like the 00 of Guardian flying solo is in 12th position.
Oh, okay. So if everyone just plays it cool here, these 3 packs, you should advance.
Now we should be under 20 to go. Mike RPM trying to make a move on the 24, and I don't blame him. This is low draft, mono, low draft. Plus, by being side by side when this next pack comes, you're going to make them choose. Do we take it 3 wide, or which one of these guys do we want to work with? I like it. You just stop this whole pack from being able to pass all at once. I say that. Flash 9 says, no, we'll go 3 wide. He splits the gap and he gets the lead. Flash 9 to P1 in the Flash Mafia Motorsports. Good move by Flash. Now that second pack of 4, I think they're in trouble trying to catch these guys.
You said 37 is in 12th, or is that Guardian?
Guardian is the 00 in 12th.
Okay.
Flying solo. That's just via what I'm seeing on track, right? Like, I'm not 100% on that. Mike RPM gets by the 14 car. Actually, I think 14 was pushing him. But again, guys, keep in mind, this is huge trying to win this race, because that is the difference between starting 24th. You know, if you get 12th, you start 24th. If you win this race, you start 2nd on the outside row of Daytona. So it is huge to try to get up there and get to the win here, if possible. 47 lost the draft. 51 out of the draft. That's old Johnny Boy. 51 is Nascar 82. 00 lost the draft, but I think he's in 12th. I think 15th is the 34, who still never got any draft this whole time. Poor guy. I feel bad for him. But he is catching the 51 car. Paul Aguilar out there cheering for... Paul out there cheering for Jonathan Aguilar. That's old Johnny Boy. Unfortunately, right now, he's had a rough race. He's riding back in the back just outside of the qualifying positions in that number 47. So unfortunate event right now for that 47 car. Up front, we have the 21 and the 14 still trying to make moves. I like it. You really have nothing to lose as long as when you get to the outside, one of those guys on the bottom doesn't miraculously run out of talent, catch the apron, and sideswipe you and put you in the wall.
Right. Yeah, and that's... You know, I've had that happen to me in just other leagues, other races at Super Speedway. So it's kind of how much do you really want to risk it here? How much do you really want to?
Listen, can't get the biscuit if you don't risk it.
You can settle here and be fine.
I got to be honest, right? So if you're going to make a move to the outside, something that I do at these super speedways is a lot of people try to side draft other people in the corners, and I don't do that. I'm not a fan of the side drafting because you're not giving them room to run their line. A controller guy has a harder time, you know, keeping it straight through the corners. Nothing against controller guys, they just have a harder time, right? What I do is I do the side drafting more on the straightaway to help me get a run, and through the corners I run all the way up to the very top as high as I possibly can to give them room, but also if they do make a mistake and they don't touch me, then I'm easily able to get by them, even in the corners. Again, so far out there we have some pretty good racing. Single file, I know to the viewers at home it's boring, but this really is huge for these guys to just stay in line. The 21-14, they keep peeking the nose out. At the end of the day, what's it going to cost him? If the 21, he peeks his nose out, the 14 gets by him, okay, one spot, right? Not a big deal. Try racing and get it back. But winning that, passing all those cars gets you into the starts position number 2 in the big race next week.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I'm interested to see how that top line does to start the race.
Yep, I agree. I think the 500 is going to be a lot different than this. You're going to have 25 cars out there. If you make a mistake, you get put in the wall, right? You got twice as many drivers, more likely that a wreck or a caution will happen, right? I'm thinking we're coming down to the last lap because not only these guys, but I'm seeing that backpack of 4 getting side by side as well. But right, so yeah, I think the race next Friday is going to be, or next Thursday is going to be way more. You'll see a lot more action. Maybe in, you know, dull throughout the middle of the stages, but the beginning of the stages, the end of the stage, you're going to see a lot of side by side action.
Yeah, and with stages, guys are going to be, they'll risk it a little bit more with stages, knowing that they can recover and
right. Yeah. There's recovery time, even if you lose the draft.
So we're looking at
1.
4 to go right now.
Okay, but yeah, even if
coming to the line.
Even if you lose the draft in stage 1, even if you go a lap down, right? You have there's pit stop options, there's stage breaks. If you're the only one a lap down, you get the lucky dog. There's a lot of things that you can do to make up time and even laps. And again, with cautions on, if you're the only guy a lap down and a caution comes out, boom, you get the lucky dog. You start 25th, right? Inside line already. Last car, but inside line, right? And then you probably pass 5-6 cars right out the gate first lap because they're hung out on the outside. So a lot of things can happen in the big race, the big 500, that I think is going to be a lot more exciting than what we're seeing tonight as a viewer. So there should be 3
I'll
to
go
go.
ahead and say it's gonna be a spectacle, Patty. It's gonna be an absolute rager.
I like the word bloodbath. Let's go with that.
You know, spectacle leaves a little bit of leeway. You know, if it's good, bad, but it's gonna be entertaining regardless.
Trying to find the 00, still riding around by himself, but I believe him to be in 12th position right now.
We're coming to 2 to go here.
They're also catching a lapped car. That could be, I think they're going to catch him within these 2 laps. If I'm somebody that's been trying to make a move, I might use him. Yeah, I might use him to get the draft, and then, you know, use his draft, take it 3 wide.
Alright, so we're going to see who's with who right here.
I will say so far, duel 1, 0 cautions. Duel number 2 to this point, 0 cautions. 32 does go outside. He's got help from the 21 of Mike RPM. They are making up ground. The 14 is going to go to the outside. He's going to work with those 2. 4 on 3. Which car is a better leader? Will it be the 32 or will it be the 7? 24 comes up off the bottom a little bit. Tries to do a little bit of a block. 34 is up there. Are they going to be able to get the draft? I don't know. This should be the white flag now, right? So next caution will end, next flag will end it. So at this point, it doesn't hurt you to make moves. Even if you wreck, as long as a caution comes out, that would end the stage, or end the race. You'd finish where you are. So I like it. I like seeing this action up here up front. But right now, Flash 9 in front of, trying to find Flash 9 real quick, but he is in front of Daha, who's in front of Jose Protege out of nowhere in the 6, Taylor in 4th.
I think everybody's going to be content here.
I think the 19 sent back. I think the 19 is going to try to get a push from Mike RPM, who has made his way up to 5th now after passing the 32 and the 14. Taylor does stick his nose out.
Got a little bit of a run here.
It is going to be Flash 9. Flash 9, Daha, Jose, Tiller, and Mike RPM. Try to get Flash 9 in here.
Pico Gator in 10th. Travesty in 12th. I didn't get the other 2 in front of him.
No, Travesty should have been in 11th, right?
11th, yes.
And that would put Guardian, I believe, to be the car that got 12th.
Yep, he's coming out of turn 4 right now. Oh boy. And let's scroll up a little bit. Here we go. So Guardian, old Johnny Boy is the first driver out.
All right, so
you're gonna see Flash 9 on the outside pole.
Yeah,
we'll have Daha in 4th, correct?
Yeah, so unfortunately,
it's gonna be an all Chevy front 2 rows here.
Unfortunately, we have old Johnny Boy, NASCAR 82 FK, and Racehead would be eliminated from this race. However, Racehead will earn the provisional starting point and be able to start 25th next week.
Hey, shout out to Racehead for that.
Hold on just a second, getting results in right now. I believe Flash joined.
I'm here.
What's up, buddy? You got the
Going on?
dub. So maybe you need to come in here and start broadcasting a little bit more.
I wouldn't mind.
Listen, that was crazy. You guys had a heck of a run, and I got to be honest with you. Old Johnny Boy with the fast lap of 42.8. I got to be honest with you. I liked what Mike RPM did when you guys were catching. He went to the outside. It was mono basically between him and right. So he goes to the outside, and he made you have to choose what you were going to do. Well, I was like, well, maybe he's going to stop them from being able to make a move and be able to fall in line. Well, that didn't happen. Flash 9 says, yeah, leave some room and I'll make a hole. And here comes Flash 9, splits the gap, ends up with the lead. That was the move of the race. Without that move, you probably wouldn't have got that dub. It would have been, it seemed impossible to pass on the outside out there tonight.
Yeah, definitely the winning move. We were trying to figure out who was going to be the car to lead the way. It seemed there was a couple cars that were having issues hitting the glitches and stuff throughout the race, and so I got a move on Jose there, and he was helping me get back in line, and had just a massive run. And I mean, I knew what they were doing. I knew they wanted to block the track, but I mean, there's just enough room. Had I seen that it was going to get messy, I would have backed out, but just a little side swipe on both of the cars, and everyone continued on. It was pretty fun.
Sauce, I'm going to send it over to you. You got any comments, any concerns for Mr. Flash 9?
No, it was a good race. He was very patient early on. He tried to make some moves early on. He's about one of the very few cars that tried to get it going up top. So, how much of that will we see in the 500 next week?
I mean, it'll be tough. I think the right group of guys are gonna have to get together to make it work. What I was saying with the broadcast with Denkate and Duel 1, this is really the first races that the B group from last season is with the A group, so there's a lot of guys that don't really know how to race around each other yet, so I think it's going to be wild. And if you happen to not hit another car next week, then you might get a top 5, but we'll just try to shoot for one of that.
I said, right, so we're caution free so far in 2 duels, right? But there's only 15 drivers in one and 16 in the other, right? So at the end of the day, much smaller field than what we're going to see next week with 25 cars. Also, I heard you guys talk about it when you were broadcasting with Denkate, right? That who's going to make moves, who's going to be the one to make moves, and everybody always says that Aquatati, he's the guy that loves to run the outside, right? And there's not, in the duel racing, it's a different concept than the 500, right? Because at the duel, every position doesn't matter, right? Only the top 12 matters. So if you're already in the top 12, what's the point of trying to advance other than what you did, right? You had a crazy run, you get start outside pole. Other than that, if you don't have the winning car, you just want to safely make the show, right? But next week, at every point in time, every position matters. So if a caution does come out and you're running in 8th place, for example, you're going to restart on the outside. So you want to make an issue to try to get to 7th or fall back to 9th, be in an odd number in case caution comes out. Or at the end of a stage, get stage points because points will be on the line. Team points will be on the line. Working with your teammates is going to be more important than it ever has been, right? So because we're no longer doing just one driver receiving team points. It's the 2 best drivers of your team receive the points for the team. So all this is going to play into effect. So not only as a driver who just won this race, but as a captain entering next week, how does your mentality change from dual racing to 500 racing?
I mean, really not a whole lot. I feel like the duels is a good test for the guys that are in that race, to see who will work with you, to see what the other guys have. Normally I was okay, like I would have rode in 3rd, I was fine. I had Daha in front of me and Mike RPM behind me, and 2 guys that, I feel like I can trust riding around. But there was a couple points in time where like 4 guys lost a draft and they caught up to us on their own, with no one backing off, and I felt like the front group could have had, faster pace, so I decided to lay off and test to see if Mike and others would go with me, and I mean, we were fast up there, we just didn't have enough cars, but team-wise, just trying to look for who's going to make the moves, because if you can make the moves, then unless you're lucky enough to have a fast pit stop and be P1 all night, you're going to have to be able to, slice and dice your way to get in a position to win the restrictor plate race. So, might as well try it out in a duel, and try to get something going in the 500.
Yeah, and another thing that we haven't even talked about, but come next week, if you're running 17th place, maybe you have to push the issue, because after next week, so this week we're doing a provisional, right? But starting next week, or not next week because next week's 500, but 2 weeks from now at Chicago, the drivers that are sitting top 16 in points are guaranteed into the show. So a lot of big things happening, a lot of big rule changes that is really going to dictate how the racing is going, so that we're not seeing some boring stuff like here. And I really think the next week at Daytona is going to be exciting. And Flash, really happy to see you in victory lane. I really say it's because you broadcast. You're going to have to get up here, do that a little bit more. Thanks for doing that, of course. And other than that, good luck next week, and great job tonight.
All right, thanks. It's the first time I ran that car. It's pretty fiery looking out front. I'm gonna have to do it more often.
I mean, you drive a pro league car, and all of a sudden you're beating pro leaguers. So maybe there's something to that as well.
I guess that's it.
Yeah. So to the viewers at home, so that you know the 25 drivers that have advanced to next week's 500, so you can look forward to it. From Duel 1, we have KB Showtime, Long Live the Sauce, SMK Sludge, Aquataddy, Robbie Racing, Blaney, It's Your Bro Chase, W Broom, Street Machine, War Pig, Bad Fast Marley, and Rub on 'em. Duel number 2, you have Flash 9, Duh Hud Jr., GTR Jose Protege, Tiller, Mike RPM, The Maverick 90, Memphis Phoenix, Palm Coaster, Den Kate with his career best finish in GC Sports of 9th, P. Cola Gator. Then we have Travis Tyson, The Guardian. That's from the duels. And again, that 25th provisional starting position goes to George Taylor, aka Racehead. Congratulations to all 25. And Sauce, I'm going to go over to you. Closing comments.
Nah, just shout out to all the drivers that made it through. Drivers that didn't, next week or 2 weeks is Chicagoland. There's no worries in that. You can always get in there. I'm hoping to see a good show next week. So I'm gonna be in it. You're gonna be in it. We're gonna put on a good show. It's gonna be a great time for everyone.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to see good racing too, right? That way the drivers that did miss out, unfortunately, they don't get to race at Daytona the 500 next week. They will receive 26 on back and points. But hopefully it's a good show, making these drivers want to work a little harder to try to make the races. And again, to anybody that didn't make it, this is huge, because this Daytona alone is the only time all season we're going to do qualifying into the race like this. After that, if you didn't make it in, work on your setups, work on your lap times. Everybody's had the game for a long time, has good race setups, right? But now it's going to be important to build a good, fast qualify setup for just those couple laps and qualify, because single car qualifying is going to be what starts the field. Being top 16 in points guarantees you into the race. However, if you're 17th on back, only 25 cars start for at least the 3 weeks. As I said, if the racing's good, we'll add more cars. If the racing's bad, we'll start taking away. So 17th on back is up for grabs every single week off single car qualifying. And we always have that one provisional spot of, whoever is highest up in points that did not qualify their way in gets that 25th starting position. So tune in weekly. This is a new concept, one season a year for GC Sports. Really excited. And if these duels, both Tuesday and tonight, are anything to show what we have looking in store for the season, it's going to be a crazy good season. Tune in, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, I'm your CEO, Aquataddy. In the booth with me, we had Long Live the Sauce. Matt Smith, aka Flash 9, comes home victorious in his opening duel for the Giggity Custom Series. And tune in next week. Thank you, and have a good night.